Well, good afternoon again to you. Here we are at Fantastic English Fluency Tips and More with Charles. Glad to be with you. And I thank you for coming back to this channel. You know, the brand here is English Fluency Tips. More for you, more for your fluency, and you're connecting with others in a global way of English speaking. Thanks for coming, newcomers. Thanks for coming, repeaters. And I'm glad to share these tips with you today. So let's get right on with it now. As you know, in our last video, we had the auxiliary or the helping verb have. And we're going to be going over the past tense of that today. So let's keep going right on here with our lesson. It is have, had, having. We'll see where you notice the usage of the word have in the various questions and sentences that we present here today. You can see them on the board too. So here the first question is, referring to my notes here, have you had your breakfast? I'll ask that once more. Have you had your breakfast? The answer, yes, I had it at 7 o'clock this morning. Yes, I had it at 7 o'clock this morning. You see, had is the past tense form of have. I have breakfast at 7 o'clock in the morning. That's custom, that's your habit, and you use the present tense for that, have. Or I'm having breakfast now. But we're talking about the past tense of the word have. And we had breakfast at 7 this morning. So we say, I had breakfast at 7 o'clock this morning. Very good. Okay, let's use had in a sentence form now, not a question. Well, that answer was a sentence, but we're going to go with informative information here. Let's look at this one. Yesterday, I had a great time. Wonder what was being done. Well, anyway, we had a great time, didn't we? It was yesterday, so have changes to had. Here's another sentence. We all had the same meal at the restaurant. 2 or more people. We all sounds like more than 3 or 4 even, because we all. That would be, yes, more than 2, wouldn't it? We all. It's a good way to look at a sentence to understand the content, what is being said. How many people were there is not mentioned, but it sounds like more than 2 or 3, doesn't it? We all had the same meal at the restaurant. That too is past tense. It was sometime prior to now. We don't know when it was, but it is past tense. So we had the same meal at the restaurant. Okay. Let's go on to another scenario, situation, when speaking of someone else. Let's start with the question again. Has she had her breakfast? Has she had her breakfast? Yes, she has. She had breakfast at 7 o'clock this morning. Yes, she has. She had breakfast at 7 o'clock. Well, breakfast is usually had in the morning, so you can put in the morning at the end or not put it at the end. That's okay. Either is okay. Some people, if they work the graveyard shift, maybe they have breakfast at 7 in the evening. But if that was the case, you would indicate so by saying in the evening. All right, let's continue on. Let's do the negative form of that, meaning that perhaps she did not have breakfast. So perhaps she had not had her breakfast when asked. So let's try that. Has she had her breakfast? No, she hasn't had breakfast. Simple. You don't have to put her in there. You can. It's okay. You don't have to because the subject is clear. It's very much understood what is being asked. So, has she had her breakfast? No, she hasn't had breakfast. You see? That's how you can use had there. Now let's go to another situation when speaking of something that happened in the past. You're speaking in the past tense of something that happened prior to when you're talking about. So let's go to number 1. We had all had dinner before the party. You're saying that everyone who went to the party had dinner before they went. We had all had dinner before the party. Another sentence in the negative form. He hadn't had dinner before attending the party. Talking about a situation in the past tense, he hadn't had dinner before the party. You see? So those are 2 examples of using a negative and a positive form of having dinner or not having dinner. And having had dinner or not having had dinner before an event. Okay, let's go to another one, shall we? Look at the board here. When asking about having had an experience, you're asking someone if they have had a certain experience in the past. Let's go over the sentence. Have you ever had an experience like that? Yes, I have had that kind of experience. Or the negative form of that, answering no that you haven't. No, I have never had that kind of experience. Once again, question. Have you ever had an experience like that? Yes, I've had that kind of experience. Or, in the case of not, no, I've never had that kind of experience. So these are a couple of sentences in that side. So what did you think? Have you learned anything new here? I have a good time doing this. I had a good time doing this. I'm having a good time doing this. I have had a lot of good times doing this. There's how to use have, had, and having. Well, I've got a bonus for you. I'm glad that you are here and getting value from these videos. Make sure you go to the playlist, look for a video, how to use phonics, look for a video using prepositions, look for a video using should, could, can you, could you, would you. A lot of tips here. Go to the playlist and pick one that suits your fancy. Here's the bonus question for today. Listen closely. We had an American barbecue last weekend. We all had a great time. Everyone had had lots of food. After that, we had marshmallows to roast. Do you like roasted marshmallows? They're very sweet. You put them on a stick and then you cook them slowly until they turn brown, really, really dark brown. Some people like them black. Some people even catch them on fire and then blow them out real quick. We had an American barbecue last weekend. We all had a great time. Everyone had had lots of food. After that, we had marshmallows to roast. Well, I hope we can have another barbecue soon. Please join us if you like. Well, thank you for being here. Do turn on your notifications. Yes, give us a like And don't forget to subscribe and tell a friend to subscribe so you can keep enjoying these wonderful videos. If you want to know about my little boya, there's a link at the bottom, and it's a great microphone for all situations. When you're going about outside or in the house or wherever you might be, in the studio or out. Okay, thanks a lot for coming. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.